Hello there, welcome to 2025 favourite season, the best time of year on YouTube. Can't believe this is my 9th end of year recap, talking you through my most loved makeup, formulas I've had on repeat, and launches that impressed me. Seamless skin tints, speedy shadows, low maintenance lipsticks, and the biggest group of blushes yet. Shocking, I know. The categories: base, brows, bronze and glow, blush, eyeshadow, palettes, brushes, liner, mascara, lipstick, and gloss. And you'll find discount codes below. Skincare favourites are coming next, of course, then best of hair and body in the new year. Let's get going. Last year, I loved so many formulas I filmed an extended best base video, but this time I'm keeping it nice and concise. My number one, the Dior Forever Skin Perfect Foundation Stick. Adore this formula. Unbelievably creamy, smooth, skin-like. Just a few small smudges tapped in with my fingertips. Looks flawless. A little goes a long way. I wore one CR almost every makeup day. Still love Merit the Minimalist comparison coming in the new year, but this is even creamier and glides on. My favourite skin tint starting point, Typology Tinted Serum. I also wore this almost every single time I did my makeup, then the Dior stick on top to add a touch more coverage. One of the most stunning skincare-like, light, silky textures I've tried, with beautifully sheer coverage and a dewy finish. Earlier in the year on a trip to the UK, I was very happy to try out the Sculpted by Amy Hydra Tint I'd heard the Anna edit raving about, a lightweight fluid with natural coverage but more of a satin finish. It's not super dewy or super flat, just a healthy sheer boost. Would you believe I actually have a new concealer entry for you after a million years? Nope, not YSL Touche Éclat, that's still my go-to under eye brightening fluid, but there are two fresh spot concealing faces here. Charlotte Tilbury's Beautiful Skin Concealer was my high coverage formula of choice for breakouts, tapping on a tiny bit to keep it looking skin-like. Then the stick I kept in my bag for touch-ups all year was Lisa Eldridge's Pinpoint Concealer. So well used, the label has completely gone. Dotting this tiny tip directly onto spots or broken capillaries, it's creamy but waxy, so best for targeted work, not covering larger areas. I might have surprised you on the concealer front, but the brows are pretty obvious. I've been using Glossier Boy Brow for over a decade at this point, and I'm still so happy with it, but I also swapped to Merit Brow 1980 Volumizing Pomade just as often. Similar creamy texture, it's not thin or crunchy, with a nice tint, lift, and comfortable hold. When I felt like adding even more sheen to my already pretty glowy skincare and base routine, Westman Atelier Lit Up Stick in Nectar was gorgeously glossy, like a facial in one swipe. This is a glassy, soft golden peach cream that looks like it's part of your skin, not sitting on top. One of the coolest Glossier launches in years to me was Future Dew Solid. This dropped in February. I love it when a product is reimagined in a more practical, user-friendly format, and as someone who found the original Future Dew liquid a bit too thick, this is a perfect pearly alternative. For an all-over glowy base, I was excited to finally pick up Vive Skin Nova Instant Radiance Primer in the UK. I personally think of this as more of a glowy base product than a primer in my own routine, but it does have some blurring benefits and just makes your skin look so radiant and fresh. My beloved bronzing base is back. I can't go past Westman Atelier's super loaded tinted highlight drops in Peau de Soleil. Glorious as a liquid bronzer mixed into a skin tint, worn alone. It's just delightfully dewy and naturally sun-kissed in every situation. The ultimate bronzing tint. I'm obsessed. A real blush boom this year, as if that isn't the case every single year for me. So sorry for the number of videos Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks in Garçon has appeared in the past year, but I don't know what to tell you. It's divine. A dream satin cream. This formula could be the only blush left standing in my collection, and I'd be happy, so that is saying something. Love this moody, rosy, mauvey berry. Another returning favourite, the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick in Enigma. A frequent pint-sized pick for travel this year. It's so handy and tiny to pack in a lovely subtle, understated, rosy beige, designed for an ideal pinch of colour. You can build it, or it looks perfectly dewy and sheer too. I saw Gracie Abrams on tour earlier this year, and at my show, I was convinced she was wearing Tower 28 Beach Please in Power Hour, which she's mentioned in interviews before, so I went through a big Power Hour phase too, an excellent terracotta. Let's dive into that shade family in 2026. You know I love the Trini London Lip to Cheek pots, so I was thrilled to see her new Trinity sticks join the family. This Venice blush shade is described as a soft, dusky rose, but it's more of a sandy beige tan on me. I wore it a lot this past winter. Creamy, satin formula, good colour payoff and wear time. It wouldn't be my favourites list without a Merit Flush Balm, a classic sheer, dewy, easy blush. Early in the year, I couldn't stop wearing the old Travel Mini Bespoke, but the permanent Bespoke is a tiny bit more red-toned and rosy. I didn't even realise the difference until one of you pointed it out, but luckily I'm a big fan of both. In the second half of the year, I also really enjoyed Archival, their best-selling, cool, mauvey pink. Not usually a pink blush person, so you know this is a very natural, wearable tone. A late addition to my rotation in November, but a constant feature on my face ever since it arrived, House Labs Colour Fuse Glassy Blush in Glassy Ginger. I get excited to pick up this dusty pink because it's so glossy and glassy, lasts well, and gives you a watercolour halo of healthy colour. A squad of eyeshadow sticks, beginning with Vive Eye Wand in Hazelnut. This is one of the everyday shades I reached for most, in a superb creamy formula that intensifies or softens easily. I stand by my previous call that this is one of the best warm brown shadow sticks I've used. It's true. To enhance my green eyes, I loved layering Mecca Max Zoom Shadow Stick Matte in Dusty Rose over Vive Hazelnut, either mixing the two all over the lid or just using Dusty Rose closer to my lash line for a sneaky hint of pink. Equally creamy and smooth at a great price point here in Australia. A Laura Mercier Caviar stick had to be here, and Matte Cobblestone actually snuck ahead of some of its shimmery siblings. This is called a matte taupe, and what might look like a stark grey has a touch of tan brown as you blend it out. Excellent, low-key, one and done, or a building block base shade. The most sparkly, striking discovery of my year was the Ilia Eye Stylus in Venetian, a wet look glow, icy pink to brighten the eyes, and an incredibly creamy formula that skates over the lids, leaving them smooth and shiny. It manages to look multi-dimensional and skillful in 5 seconds flat. So easy. Imagine if I filmed an annual favourites video without an Armani eye tint. Nope, can't imagine it either, not fooling anyone, but this is a foolproof formula, which is why I keep coming back to it. 22 Cashew is the best of the bunch. Easy, tan brown, wash of colour, so creamy, but light, even, and long wearing. A late arrival late this year, but another creamy doe foot that really impressed me. Makeup by Mario Master Matte's Cream Shadow in Mauve is what I've reached for most of my everyday looks lately in December. Medium to high coverage, but a nice moussey texture means you can sheer it out and soften it too. So happy to see the return of Merit Solo Shadow Sheen this year. No glitter or sparkle here, just a wearable wash of sheen and microfine pearls that catch the light gently with good wear time too. Matchbook is the standout for me, a soft burgundy, coppery red that makes my green eyes pop, and Iris is a more muted, soft plum. Very soft, there's almost a taupey, smoky brown quality to it in some lights. It's not a bold plum pink. Of course, my baby had to get a mention in the palette section again. The Artist Kit Company Mini Complexion palette I made for travel in 2024 was the gift that kept on giving in 2025. The best way to take a big part of your routine away with you without having a heavy, bursting makeup bag. Big fan of the original Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette, but Pillow Talk Dreams might be even more me. Matte Dusty Rose all over the lid, matte Berry Brown near the lash line or in the crease, Pearlescent Rose to brighten inner corners, and a Rosebud Sparkle. New favourite quad combo. But as far as fun, colour-coordinated Charlotte launches go, I did really enjoy the beautifying Eye Trends palette in Pink Love this year. 9 cohesive pinky tones in super smooth mattes, silky shimmers, and light-catching glitters. Plenty of everyday possibilities here, or pops of party pink too. The brushes I used to blend every stick, shadow and palette you see here, Refa 01 for general blending work, and the tiny end of Merit brush number 2 to continue colour under my bottom lash line or as liner. Usually apply the rest of my makeup with my fingers, but I keep a couple of these two in my makeup bag at all times. My eyeliner aim was enhancing my green eyes with sneaky shades that do not budge once you've worked them in. First, YSL Lines Liberated in Unrestricted Plum, a metallic pencil you can quickly soften and smoke out with a little built-in angled brush at the other end, very handy. Lisa Eldridge Seamless Glide in Burnt Umber might be the loveliest warm brown liner I've ever worked with. Incredibly rich, smooth, powerful colour payoff, but it's so soft it's surprisingly forgiving because you can use a light hand and seamlessly blend together any slip-ups. Speaking of smooth, hello, Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Liner in Terracotta. This earthy, warm clay matte defines the lash line in a less intense way. It glides over the eye with no pressure, and the built-in sponge makes blending a breeze. An updated VB Beauty review is coming in the new year. A surprisingly crowded mascara category, several formulas to chat through here. Early in the year, I was still right into YSL Lash Clash in Uninhibited Brown, a carryover champ, impressive length and volume and drama, and it doesn't flake or run, even if you're crying or in very high humidity. My London visit reignited an affair with an old flame, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes in Dream Pop. If you thought brown mascara was a smart, softer choice than black, try a berry brown like this. Light and lengthening, or packed with volume, you're in charge with this wand. Speaking of berry browns, Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash Mascara in Burnt Umber is a beauty. This can be delicate or fluttery for daytime or weekends, or layered for impactful, fanned out evening and date night lashes. Combine it with a smoky touch of Lisa's Burnt Umber liner. Wow. Only one black mascara made the cut, but Tower 28 Make Waves well and truly earned its place here. It took a while to grow on me, but it was my most worn mascara late in the year. Perfect length, volume, lift, and curl. Like I've used a lash curler, but I definitely couldn't be bothered. All about low-key, comfortable, sheer washes of colour on the lips. Starting with Lisa Eldridge Luxuriously Lucent Lip Colour in Painterly. A friend wore this as her winter wedding lipstick early in the year, and it reminded me how much I love this deep red chocolate. I tended to wear it most patted on for a lip deepening effect and an extremely low-maintenance, comfy tint. Lisa Eldridge Balm Embrace in Epanouie is also here again as my most used, kept in my bag at all times shade. This is the buttery, balmy, cushiony tube I reached for when I didn't want a true lipstick on because it could still give me soft shine and a hint of natural, medium, poised pink. Similarly, Charlotte Tilbury Superstar Lips in Pillow Talk hung out in my handbag for months because it's all about sheer, glossy colour and light-catching shine without feeling fussy or sticky or messy. No mirror required for this deep, dusty pink / faded berry in its neat, narrow bullet. Later in the year, I pivoted to blotted sheer mattes like Violette FR Bisou Balm in Batiste, a rediscovered passion for me after trying them when they first launched. The formula has been refined since then. It now feels slightly powdery but comfortable and barely there in a rush of deep bitten pink. Honourable mention to Merit's Signature Lip Blush in Maxwell, which feels like a tease given this formula has only ever been limited edition so far, but I just have a feeling it'll be back next year given they just discontinued the Signature Lip Mattes. Rest in peace. This diffused, soft focus, blurred matte definitely deserves a permanent spot in their line. Just one lonely leading gloss from the past year, Merit Shade Slick Sheens launched in March and launched straight onto my list of best lightweight lip textures. Technically a lip oil, but they're more cushiony than the original thin Shade Slicks with a pearly sheen in the light and such pretty shine. Natural Nude Peach Biarritz lived in my bag for so long, it should have paid rent actually. Never mind. That's it, my biggest video of the year is done. Now it's your turn. Please head to the comments and share your 2025 favourites with me. I look forward to this part all year. Love getting to chat to you and hear your standout products, old favourites or new discoveries from the past 12 months. A huge thank you for being here and supporting my channel in 2025. It's been a tricky couple of years for me, to be honest, feeling unsure about my place in the industry, wondering if my time online might be coming to an end, but I feel really energised and passionate about coming back even bigger and better in 2026 to bring you more beauty. And it means so much that so many of you are still here after so many years. Thank you. I'm incredibly grateful, and I'll see you for my skincare favorites very soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.